Hello, YouTube. Hello, friends, fans, subscribers. Hello. Here we are. My first Q&A. Thank you guys very, very much for telling me that I should do this. And hey, I got some really good questions here. You guys gave me some really good questions. Sorry, I start my day off with coffee. So otherwise my day doesn't work out too well if I don't start off with coffee. You know what, I'm gonna just do this real fast there, because I've got I had the little screen showing there, and it's distracting to see myself, so there we are. Okay, Q&A. Let's do this. Okay, I couldn't get the darn thing to print. My printer gets uppity sometimes, so I'm going to just be reading these from my laptop. Very, very low tech, low scale, whatever. That's how I'm starting out. So, from Jen Peace. I do hope I'm pronouncing that name right, and by the way, you are awesome. You're awesome, okay? I think you're awesome. First question on my Q&A, how old are you? How old am I? Well, how old do you think I am? How old do I look? I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna answer a question with another question. Believe it or not, motorcycle. I hate those things. Always during my videos too. Believe it or not, this year I will be turning 32. That's right. I am 31 years old. I don't feel a day over 20. I don't act my age, and I don't feel my age. Not that 30s are old by any means, but I still feel like I'm 20, which is really weird every time I drink. So, yeah, I'm 31, about to be 31 and a half. And, yeah, I'm loving it. 30s are pretty good so far. Actually, a fun little piece of trivia I like to tell people about myself is, what do me and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom have in common? We were both in production at the same time. Let's see. Did I always live in California? Yes. Yes, I have always lived in California. I am originally from Long Beach, California. Very proudly from Long Beach. That being said, I have lived all over Southern California. Long Beach, moved to Yorba Linda in 1990. Moved to Anaheim in 1983, moved to Lake Elsinore in 1994, back to Anaheim in 1997. I've lived all over the place, let's see, from Anaheim, Garden Grove, and now finally I live in City of Orange. So I'm in Orange, and this is one of the best areas I've ever lived in my life for many reasons. How did I meet Adam the Woo? Great question. I think I met Adam the Woo exactly a year ago. I had just been laid off from my job of 10 years last year. This happened last year. And I was surfing YouTube one day, and I've always been into abandoned places. I've always just been fascinated by abandoned stuff, of buildings that are abandoned and everything. And I came across Adam the Woo's video where he explored the wreckage of the buses from The Fugitive that are still out there in South Carolina. And I was like, hey, what he's doing is really cool, and this guy himself, he's really cool. So I thought he was really cool. And then of course his friend Justin Scard, his videos were recommended, so I found him. I liked him too, and started following both those guys. And coincidentally, in March of last year, they, along with a couple of other YouTubers, did a meet and greet over near me, over in Buena Park, and I used to live near that area, so yeah, I got to meet him in person. And then toward the end of last year, Adam the Woo was over here in California doing his whole Disneyland deal, and so I went and hung out with him at Downtown Disney for a while. We chatted about movies, about Back to the Future, and just about stuff. And then a couple weeks after that, we collaborated and did our 40 Acres video. So yeah, I am a big fan of Adam the Woo and Justin Scard. They're really good guys, and you know, I look forward to doing stuff with both of them again in the future. Did I ever travel away from California? Yes. Wifey and I honeymooned in Orlando, Florida almost 10 years ago, because we got married almost 10 years ago. So yeah, we went to Florida, and where else have I been? I have been to Vegas a number of times. We have celebrated a couple of our anniversaries in Vegas. In fact, 2 years ago we did our anniversary in Vegas, and that week in April, we're in the hotel room getting ready to go out for the day, and breaking news on the TV was unfortunately the Boston Marathon bombing that happened during the week of our anniversary. That was very tragic and just a very horrible thing that happened, and also kind of hit me kind of hard, because not only does that happen the week of our anniversary, but a very good friend of mine runs marathons all the time, so it hit him pretty hard and stuff. So it was very tragic. But yeah, I have been to Vegas, to Florida, and I've been to Tijuana a couple of times, but I haven't done that lately. So, can I take requests for places like Valley Girl filming locations and Mae West grave sites? Boy, is that a good question. Yes, I will happily take requests to go places, because there is a heck of a lot of places that I want to check out in Hollywood, around Hollywood, all that good stuff. Funny you should mention Valley Girl. My ex-boss at my old job, that was one of her favorite movies. Mae West gravesite. I do plan to explore many grave sites. I looked up Mae West last night before I did this video. Unfortunately, Mae West is buried in New York, and I have never been to New York. Now that said, if I ever am able to get to New York, because I would love to go to New York and check it out, I will definitely add Mae West's grave to my list of things to do in New York. There's several things I've always wanted to do in New York. One of which is, I'm a big fan of the movie West Side Story, and Lincoln Center, you may not know this, you may not know this, Lincoln Center is built where the neighborhood in West Side Story used to be. So basically they filmed West Side Story where Lincoln Center is currently. Do I like Disney? Yes, I do like Disney. The man was a genius. I'm a massive Disneyland aficionado. Love Disneyland. What's my favorite bands? You know what? As far as music goes, I really like a little bit of everything. The only things I don't like are rap and country. For a while there, about 10-15 years ago, I was hardcore into the 80s. Like everything 80s. Tears for Fears is my favorite band. My all-time favorite song is Father Figure by George Michael. Don't judge me. Yeah, I love music of the 80s. Not as much as I used to, but it still has a very special place in my heart, because I'm an 80s baby. So, some of my fondest memories as a child were, well, my childhood took place in the 80s, so there we are. Yeah, I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like Nickelback. I like Seal. I like, why can't I think right now? I like a little bit of everything, really. Incubus, I love Incubus. Unfortunately, I will be getting to this later too within one of the next questions. Most of the music that I like is way out of my range. I have such a low voice that I sound kind of weird singing a lot of the songs I like, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I do my thing. I don't care. Next question, how did I get into YouTube? I discovered YouTube in probably 2007, and let's just say I have always wanted to make movies all my life. I've always wanted to make movies. I've always been creative as long as I can remember. This question and the next, 3 questions from Jin Peace, they all kind of have the same answer, so I'm just going to go ahead and segue. Why do I like Spielberg so much? Why do I like Spielberg so much? Well, there's a lot of answers to that. He and I have been through we've had very similar backgrounds. I mean, his parents divorced when he was 16, I think. My parents divorced when I was 3. A little bit of age difference there, but anyway. He turned to movies and creativity as a way of dealing with everything and dealing with the repression and everything that he got for being Jewish. Although, I'm actually not Jewish, but that's beside the point. Let's just say that my family and I always watched Spielberg's movies. We watched all sorts of movies, but it was always Steven Spielberg's movies that we always watched. We always watched the Indiana Jones movies. We always watched the Back to the Future movies together. Some of my fondest memories growing up with my parents and everything were of watching his movies. And his movies are one of the things that has got me through some really, really awful times in my life. So we have a lot in common, and we have very similar backgrounds, and we kind of do what we do for the same reasons. My favorite movie is this. This is the video. It's all, I don't know if you can see how beat up it is. This is the video that my mom brought home in 1989 when I lived in Long Beach still. She brought home The Wizard of Oz and E.T. The Wizard of Oz is one of the best movies ever made, but I watched the heck out of E.T. That movie just spoke to me. I think because, like I said, my parents had just gotten divorced, and I said to myself, I was 5. This isn't a movie, this is an experience. I just love the heck out of E.T. It is my favorite movie. It has inspired me to be creative. From that point on, I didn't realize as a kid that it was because of E.T. I look back now and I've realized that's what started everything. You know, for some people it's Star Wars that inspires them to be creative, and that's great. For me, it was E.T. If it hadn't been E.T., it would be Jurassic Park, I know that much. But E.T. inspired me to be creative. When I was a kid, I remember I would act like I was making books. I would do the cover, all fancy and stuff, and then I wouldn't write the book itself. When I was a teenager, I tried writing a novel, and I was getting warmer, but still didn't quite have the right fit to what I feel like I wanted to do. And finally, I stumbled upon 2 screenplays. I stumbled upon James Cameron's screenplay for Titanic, and I just stumbled upon the screenplay for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And I'd never really seen a screenplay before, and when I read through the screenplays, saw the structure, saw the mechanics, I was like, Eureka! This is what I should be doing! I should be writing screenplays! And these are the first 2 screenplays that I have completed. It took me forever and a day to write these, but yeah, that's where the whole E.T. and Spielberg inspiration led me, is write screenplays. And I'm still working on the sequels to one of those. One of those is a romantic comedy, the other one is an action movie. And I did try to break into Hollywood 7 years ago. I did try to sell them, and I saw firsthand how not only impossible Hollywood is to break into, but also I saw, not just from that, but from other things, I saw that Hollywood, the industry, is not something that I have any desire to be a part of. So I do what I'm doing right now, and I write my screenplays just for fun because it makes me happy. Next question. Okay. I only gave you one movie though, E.T. Yeah, I'm a big Spielberg fan. I love, almost every movie that he has made. I'm not a big fan of AI. I don't like AI. Of course, it could just be because that movie came out in a really, really, really bad time in my life. But anyway, let's see here. I really like a little bit of everything. I like action. I like comedy. Oh yeah, I meant to say this earlier. The Disney Renaissance movies that were made from the 90s, or during the 90s I should say, like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Pocahontas. I saw all those in the theater, and, those are amazing movies. However, I'm very ashamed to admit this, but you know what, I'm just going to be honest. Most kids, when they're growing up around the time I was growing up, they watch cartoons, and they watch, all the Disney classic animated movies. And I have never really given them the proper attention they deserve, which is a really gentle way of saying I've never really seen the Disney classic animated movies. It's on my to-do list. I'm going to do that one of these days. These are the movies that I grew up watching when I was a kid. So, yeah, that's what I was watching. I kind of skipped the whole cartoon phase and I went straight into the action movies, So, there we are. Do I like wine? Yes, I do like wine. I prefer white wine, but yes, I like wine. It's the French in me. Yeah, I'm more of a Corona person. I'm more of a Mexican beer. I love Mexican beer, Corona, Tecate, Dos Equis, Pacifico. Yeah, I've recently started trying Stella Artois, which I love. But yeah, do I get compliments a lot on my sexy voice? Well, thank you for the wording there. That's very sweet of you. I do get told on almost a weekly basis that people like my cool voice. I appreciate the compliments, but I'm going to be honest with you. I will never understand the big deal. I will never understand why people like my voice so much, because I hear people all the time with voices just as deep as mine. And I'm like, why are you making such a big deal out of my voice? I mean, fine. I will take a compliment. I will happily take a compliment, but I don't see what the big deal is. It puts the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told. It puts the lotion in the basket, or else it gets the hose again. Yes, it will. It get the hose, won't it, Fat? You know. It's funny, 5 years ago, it was 5 years ago, wow, wifey and I went to an autograph shindig up in Burbank, and we met a couple of people from West Side Story, and when I walked up to Rita Moreno's table, I said, "Hi, Rita," I think that's what I said, and she was like, "Oh, what a voice," and I was like, "Okay, well, I'll take that, that was cool." How tall am I? Well, if my spine were straight, which it's not, because I have scoliosis, I would be 6'2". Since I have scoliosis, I am 5'11", and I'm okay with that. I would like to be 6'2", but I'm 5'11". If ever there was a late bloomer, it was me. I was 4'10" in high school, so I still feel short. I don't feel tall, but whatever, you know, it's all good. What's my favorite cologne? You know, I don't really wear cologne because I have horrible allergies. So I wear Old Spice. I just wear Old Spice deodorant and it gets the job done. From Brian Burns, this takes me back to a subject I wanted to get back to. Brian Burns, thank you. Will I do a vlog from Disneyland? The shortest possible answer to that I can give you is I would love to do vlogs from Disneyland because I love Disneyland. I love Disneyland. Now, I can't do that because I don't have a pass. I can't afford a pass at this point in my career. Hopefully, if things go according to plan, if certain things go according to plan this year, I might be able to get a pass. But I do have my 10th wedding anniversary right around the corner, which is going to be one of the biggest, most important events of my life. I do have a Back to the Future event later this year that I'm going to be helping organize because I am a diehard Back to the Future fan. Which I helped organize the first event back in 2010. So yeah, I would love to do videos at Disneyland because I am very knowledgeable about Disneyland history. Until then, in the meantime, some of you may know, some of you may not know, go check out Justin Scard's videos. He does almost daily vlogs at Disneyland. Really funny guy, really knowledgeable about Disneyland history. In fact, he knows a little bit more about Disneyland history than even I do, and I'm pretty knowledgeable about Disneyland history. I find it fascinating. But yeah, go check out his channel. You know, he's funny, he's better looking than I am. Yeah, go check out his stuff. On that note, the movie Saving Mr. Banks, great movie. I'll be the first to say, great movie. Being the Disneyland aficionado that I am, one scene did bother me just a little bit. It didn't ruin the movie for me, it didn't take me out of the movie, but the scene where Tom Hanks takes Emma Thompson to Disneyland and they go on the carousel. Great scene, but for anyone who knows anything about Disneyland history, that's not what Fantasyland looked like in the 1960s. Up until 1983, Fantasyland was tents. It was all circus tents. So there we are. My battery's about to die, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for the questions. If you want me to do another Q&A, ask me more questions. I'll happily do another one. Hope I answered this properly. Thank you for everything, and please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave me comments below, and thank you for everything. I'll see you guys later.